In my opinion, one of the unsung heroes of the American Civil War was a man by the name of John Rawlins. Rawlins served as General Grant's chief of staff and chief advisor throughout the duration of the war. Now, the reason why I believed he played a significant role in seeing the North to victory was not necessarily his role as chief of staff, though I'm sure he did that well. You see, General Grant allowed Rawlins also to be a personal advisor for him, to be his conscience and watchdog, specifically regarding the general's drinking problem, which he was notorious of having. Rawlins was as faithful to this role as he was to being chief of staff. On a number of occasions, he had the opportunity to correct others who were making up stories of General Grant being drunk in order to undermine the general for their own political gain. But there are also times in which Rawlins had to intervene and reprimand the general for his indulgences. Now, I can only imagine if Rawlins chose not to speak up. Would Grant have been relieved of his command because of slanderous testimony? Or would the general have undermined his own leadership because he was constantly getting drunk? Now, if so, the outcome of the American Civil War could have been drastically different. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, "In the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends." Many of us will not be in positions like Rawlins to speak truth to power, but all of us should be prepared to intervene when necessary, to be a Rawlins to someone else. We need to be ready to speak truth when a word of truth is needed to be heard. We need to be ready to do what is right when right may in fact not be looked at favorably by those above us. We may need to risk losing a friend if our actions serve to save his or her life. Now, there's a flip side to the story as well. You see, Grant allowed Rawlins to speak truth into his life. If you are in leadership, who are you allowing to do the same? It takes courage, it takes integrity, but it is necessary as we cultivate cultures of excellence and intervene when necessary.